Ever give a sales presentation that you thought was great, but then you were taken aback because it ultimately ended with a no or a, let me think about it. We've all been there before, and it's absolutely the worst feeling in sales. Well, I have scoured the edges of the earth to find the best keys to crushing any sales presentation. And the good news is that nothing here is crazy hard to do, but you must know these sales presentation ideas. In this video, I'm going to show you 9 must-know sales presentation tips to close more sales. Check it out. Number 1, present only after a deep discovery. This is key. Salespeople always ask me, what went wrong in this or that presentation? But what often happens is that they didn't do a very deep discovery phase in the sales process. So they jumped right into the presentation. The prospect wasn't ready, and the salesperson didn't know what actually mattered to the prospect when they were giving that sales presentation. Be sure to ask tons of questions during that discovery phase of the sale to really understand what's going on with the prospect before getting into the presentation. Number 2, only present to the prospect's challenges. During the discovery phase, you're going to need to get the most critical challenges of the prospect. Once you have a complete understanding of their challenges, then only present the solution to those challenges. Nothing more. Prospects only, and I mean only, care about solving their challenges. They don't give a shit about your product or service. Stick to only presenting to what they care about. Number 3, keep it as short as possible. We salespeople love to hear ourselves talk, and we get excited when we're in presentation mode. But the presentation is actually the most dangerous part of the sales process. It's actually the point at which we're most likely to say something that causes a prospect to be turned off, and we never even knew. Keep your presentations as short as possible by only presenting the parts of your offering that will solve your prospect's challenge. Number 4, share case studies. At the end of the day, your prospects want results. They want to know that what you say you can do, you can actually do. And there is no better way to show that you actually can do what you say you will do than by sharing examples of how you've helped folks similar to them. Share case studies or examples of other clients that you've helped in similar ways. Stories are always going to be more compelling than facts and details. Number 5, get feedback throughout. A presentation absolutely must not be a one-way conversation. You need to constantly be getting feedback from your prospect throughout the presentation by asking them little feedback questions like, does that make sense? By getting quick bits of feedback during each point of your presentation, you will both keep your prospect engaged and you're going to know that you're actually on the right track. Does that make sense? Number 6, allow them to interrupt constantly. What you have to say is inconsequential at any point in the selling situation. What matters is what the prospect is thinking, what they have to say. And so often salespeople don't want to be interrupted during the presentation. They'll actually keep going. But this is exactly wrong. Anytime your prospect so much as moves funny, you stop and you ask them if they had something to say. Invite them to interrupt you at any point. This is yet another opportunity for valuable insight. Number 7, go back into discovery if they ask about something new. The sales process is dynamic, not rigid. And just because you are in the presentation phase of the sale doesn't mean that you can't go back to the discovery phase. Remember, the more that you discover, the better you will do. This means that if the prospect mentions something totally new or asks about something completely different, dig into that, find out about that, unpack it, ask questions that go back into that discovery phase if it seems relevant. Now, this is only going to make you more likely to close the sale because you'll have more information. Number 8, drop the hard close. Old school sales gurus have taught us all those ninja headlock close techniques. And maybe you use one and you're selling right now. Regardless, you must stop. Hard closes are not only transparent to a prospect, but they're also losing you sales by turning the prospect off. They're applying tremendous pressure. And if you've done a strong job of understanding their key challenges in the discovery phase and then presented the solution to their challenges, you don't need a hard close, just next steps. And that brings us to number 9. Always have a scheduled next step. Very rarely are salespeople in a one-call close selling situation. Most sales nowadays that are at least on the larger side are complex and require multiple steps. And just because you didn't close after your presentation doesn't mean that you're in a bad place. You are only in a bad place if you don't have a next step in the calendar. If you are just going to follow up next week, you're screwed. But if you have a scheduled call for next Tuesday at 9 a.m. in everyone's calendar, you're moving the ball forward. Always have a scheduled next step. So there are the 9 must-know sales presentation tips to close more sales. I want to hear from you. Which of these ideas did you find most useful? Be sure to share below in the comments section to get involved in the conversation. And if you enjoyed this video, then I have this awesome free ebook on 25 tips to crush your sales goal. Just click right here to get instant access to it. Also, if you got some value, please like this video below on YouTube and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking right here, my little face, to get access to a new video just like this one each week. Until next week.